Hey everyone, Reid Henrichs with Valor, and I've got a message for Michael Bloomberg. You are a lying scumbag. Let's go ahead and get started. You guys watching this video, if you're new to the channel, hey, I usually don't get this fired up, but after seeing some Lilliputian with an armed detail proselytizing to everybody else in this country that they don't deserve firearms, well, I'm going to step in and call BS on him. That there is an ad by Michael Bloomberg when he is outright misleading the American people. Did a multi-million-dollar ad for the Superbowl talking about making it safe for children. First and foremost, let me explain something to you. My firearms keep children safe, and they always have. I'm sure that you watching this right now, many of you have firearms in order to protect your children or other people's children. So guns are not dangerous to children. Guns are what protect people's family. Let's start with that paradigm right now. You know, for a guy that has dozens of hired thugs to protect him with guns, he really doesn't hate guns that much. There isn't a crisis of gun violence in this country. There's absolutely zero crisis for it. You are more likely to be struck by lightning than be in a school shooting. So I'm tired of all this misinformation. So the Super Bowl ad went on and talked about all kinds of stupid stuff like, oh, and this is a 20-year-old boy who was killed. Did anybody ever research that kid in the ad, that he went to go pick a fight and wanted to like beat somebody almost within an inch of their life? Like that's why he got shot? Did anybody stop to mention who was this kid? Well, let me guess. He was just getting his life back together. And here's the other problem. All the statistics that he spewed out in this video that were just outright outlandishly false and misleading. Something along the lines of 2,900 children die every year from gun violence. I guess if you're like a 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old, maybe they would consider you a child, which is what they did, by the way. I don't know about you, but when I was 17 years old, I was carrying a rifle in defense of this country. Didn't really consider myself a child, and I don't think anybody else did either. An 18-year-old, a 19-year-old, a 20-year-old, they're not children. They're young men and women, so stop putting them in this little bubble that pads statistics. Oh, and let me take another guess at this. How many of those children are involved with gangs? Here's a clue, a good amount of them. No, if you get rid of their little BS statistical categories that they put in there, 1,500 are who are killed with firearms every year. No, the real number is 1,500 killed a year. And a significant amount of those are included in legal self-defense. In other words, somebody tries to kill you and you shoot them. Here's the other thing they didn't include in there. 39% of those 2,900, suicides. And you say, but Reid, if we just made guns harder to get, nobody would commit suicide, right? No, that's wrong. No legislation is going to stop suicide. I'm sorry, it's not going to. You can't even have a gun in Japan, and people still kill themselves at a rate of 6 times higher than in the United States. So what are the implications of this ad? Well, he keeps talking about how he wants to ban rifles, semi-automatic rifles. How many of those people in his statistics were killed by rifles? Well, given the fact that more children in this country are killed by swimming pools than rifles, than all people are killed by rifles in this country, I don't know what that has to do with anything. He doesn't even mention gang activity in this ad, which is another dishonest statistic there. If you found the information in the video helpful, subscribe to the channel. And if you want to learn how to become good with the firearms Michael Bloomberg doesn't want you to have, come on out to Valor Ridge. We can spool you up in fast order. This is Reid Henrichs with Valor Ridge reminding you, the lessons that we learn are written on the tombstones of others. We'll see you on the ridge.